Hello everybody, Jimmy here. I'll tell you, it's just terrible the direction of this country under the present administration, the Senate and the Congress of this country, both on the Republican side and the Democratic side. But I'll tell you what's happening right now. The United States wants to bring in 200,000 Syrian refugees over the next 2 years. Now, tell me why countries that border Syria, that are right next door, all the Arab states will not take anybody in from Syria. Tell me why Russia will not take any of them in. Tell me why China will not take any of them in. But we got to accept them. Europe, you could see the way that's going if you watch BBC News. They're taking them in, and that it doesn't even pay to go to Europe anymore. It's any country in the European Union there is just suffering. It's just not a good place to go to anymore with crime and controlling of the people. But what really bothers me, on top of the list, and this is not Jimmy thinking this up, these are government figures now that the new census numbers came out. Cash assistance for refugees are 38%, while American citizens it's 2.9%. Food stamps, 61% of the refugees will be receiving food stamps, while 13% of Americans that most times in some part of their life they at least contribute into the taxes of this country. SSI, 15% of refugees, 2.6% of U.S. people. Medicaid, 48.4% of the refugees will be receiving Medicaid, while only 16% of U.S. citizens will be receiving that. And that's on the 16%, and that's on the, a medical system that's really starting to suffer, and next year will be worse because of the Obamacare program. The TANS, you probably didn't even hear about that. That's the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. 18% of the refugees will get money from them, while only 1.4% of Americans. This is just terrible. And the list goes on and on that the government, especially because it's, controlled by a Democratic president, he's going to allow those people to go to states where it's going to change the voting base from Republican, from Republican to Democrats. This way it will always be easier to get Democrats into office. They're the ones that are spending all this money. Millenniums out there, wake up please. You're going to be paying all the taxes. The burden is going to be on your shoulders. You're not going to have any spending money or anything. You'll never be able to get married or have a family, buy a house, buy a car, because the United States government, they're going to tax you to death. But some of the things that I don't understand with this country, we got to have some type of unity. United States of America. The last map that I looked at said United States of America, but we're not united. We need one language in this country, and it doesn't have to be English. Make it anything you want. Make it French. I don't agree with it, but make it French. Make it Spanish. We got to have one language. In the Manchester, New Hampshire high school system, 82 languages are spoken in that city. That is crazy. Everybody else that came to this country, no matter where you came from, even a lot of Cuban refugees that I grew up with, they were more than happy for their kids, to learn the English language. There was one language, they blended in, they gelled in with the country, they got jobs, and they prospered. This is just absolute, insane asylum stuff that, we don't have one language, and we're allowing in the motor vehicles and every state that we print stuff and have interpreters. If you come to this country, you want to be united, there should be one language. I think that's the first thing that the new Senate and Congress in 2000, whoever gets voted in 2016 and 2017, should put it into play. We need a revitalization of the elected officials in this country. Okay, honestly, probably about 90% of them should be taken out of their office kicking and screaming. You know, it's just unbelievable. How could these people, and it's these people that vote these things in. First of all, there should be a law that if you're a senator or a congressman, you cannot become a lobbyist. These lobbyists, they go to Washington, they spend money on wine and dine people, giving money to finance, their reelection, to give money for super PACs so that they get voted in. Okay, but some of them are lobbyists for foreign governments. Can you imagine that? It's not just that, they're coming here and lobbying for, GM. We want you to lower the pollution standards or something. Foreign governments that are threats to the safety and well-being of people in this nation, okay, that live here, okay, they're allowing lobbyists to come in from those countries. This is really sad. This is the worst possible thing you can imagine. These congressmen, the president, the Congress, the senators, they have no conscience. I don't know how they could wake up in the morning and look at themselves in the mirror and proud of what they see. They should commit suicide, some of them, with how poorly they're treating, the American people that they got elected by. And some of them been career politicians. They don't even know what it's like to, cook a bag of rice because they've been on the public dole for so long. This is very sad, and it got to change, and it's not how this country, survive for 200 years. That's why I can tell you the way it's going, it's not going to survive another 200 years. Before you know it, it's going to be like Mad Max. If you ever watch one of those movies, that's what it's going to be like in this country soon. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye now, Jimmy.